West Virginia will be the clear-cut underdog in a matchup against Kentucky. But then again, everyone's the underdog against the Wildcats. The Mountaineers will have to play without an intimidation factor, and that shouldn't be a problem considering they've played with such an edge in their 2 NCAA tournament games so far. So what are the ingredients to beating a team like Kentucky? Well, it starts with making them as uncomfortable as possible. And the best way to do that is to put a ton of pressure on them. That's exactly what West Virginia is good at. They press all game and make it a chore for a team to run their offense. And while Kentucky's deep, West Virginia has an 11-man rotation that's used just to put pressure all over their opponents. Another key against Kentucky is make their guards beat you. This is one of the best teams ever assembled based on the front court, not necessarily the back court. Tyler Ulis, Devin Booker, and the Harrison twins are great guards, but they can also be exploited. If you're going to beat Kentucky, attack their guards and then let their front court be dominant. For West Virginia coach Bob Huggins to orchestrate an upset victory over Kentucky, it's going to take a miracle. Or at least that's what everyone's going to think going into this. So the biggest thing for Huggins is to get his team to believe that they can win. He has to instill that within them. And then the toughness factor is another thing. If he can get his team to channel the Detroit Piston bad boys, well, that could be Kentucky's kryptonite. Huggins told reporters that the biggest thing he's worried about when going up against Kentucky is finding ways to score. Well, he's going to have to do it from the outside, considering in the lane, Kentucky's got a bunch of trees camping out in there. It's going to start offensively, that production, with Juwan Staten. He was exceptional in a win against Buffalo, but he was relatively quiet when playing against Maryland. If this team's going to have any chance, Staten has to be scoring. In the clash between Wichita State and Notre Dame, some keys for the Irish will be making sure that Wichita State doesn't have 5 players scoring double figures like it did against Kansas. Pat Connaughton was the hero for this team in a win against Butler, and he'll have some more tough assignments cut out for him when he's going up against Fred VanVleet, Ron Baker, and a really strong supporting cast for Wichita State. One thing to pay attention to in this game will be 50-50 balls. A team like Wichita State beats you with hustle plays. The rebounding battles and the floor burns, that's the juice that drives Wichita State to success. So for Notre Dame, what will be important is making sure that they have a counterpunch. Who wins between Wichita State and Notre Dame? I think the Shockers get this one. The Irish are a gifted offensive team, but so is Indiana and so is Kansas. The fact that Wichita State was a 7th seed is almost laughable at this point. Coach Greg Marshall always gets his teams to play with a chip on their shoulder, and this is a veteran group. That's a perfect recipe for victories in March.